Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today let's ask the question, should you record YouTube videos as a software developer? The answer is yes. Alright, so today I want to answer a question that came in a couple of days ago from Neo Lao Zai Neo Tsun, New Zealand Daily. And he or she says, does being a YouTuber affect working in mobile apps? Now, I've had variations on this question in the past, and I know I've talked about it before. People ask, well, first of all, we got the whole YouTuber thing. I do not consider myself to be a YouTuber. I'm an app developer. I'm a software developer who happens to do YouTube videos. My main source of revenue is not and probably will never be the YouTube channel. Right? What I do is, I talk about stuff that I'm interested in, right? I have the opportunity to share things with you guys when I'm interested in new technology or I'm working on something or something that I've had trouble with in the past. We could talk about it here and you guys tell me all kinds of cool stuff. I get to talk about what I do and, so that's kind of what I do. Although, when I was at Comic-Con last week, my kids went to go see this this YouTuber, like I guess he's a famous YouTuber, but I was like he's like a gamer kind of guy. So I was like yeah, maybe I'll go watch too, because I'm a YouTuber too, right? And the kids are always goes, whatever, Dad. So I don't consider myself to be a YouTuber. Nobody considers me to be a YouTuber. I think at one point I put it on a bio somewhere, which might be on social media somewhere. But yeah, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm an app developer. Right? I'm a software developer. But I get this question a lot about how has a YouTube channel affected either the business or my work life or the app downloads. Let's talk about app downloads first, because a lot of people think that I do YouTube videos so I get more app downloads. But a lot of the times I don't really talk about my own apps. I mean, I do with the ones that were really well, but I never said go download it. And aside from a few people who left reviews saying, I downloaded this because I like the Eric, whatever, there's nothing that really ties me to my own applications except for the company name. So that's never really been the motivation behind it. How has it affected my work life? Every so often, I might talk about something. I might talk about a difficult client, and then in the back of my head, as I'm saying it, I'll start thinking, well, I hope other clients don't think I'm talking about them, because I'm never really specific about it. And that kind of adds a weird dynamic to the way things work, because I might, because basically I'm talking to you guys about stuff that it's not, so I'll mention something and I wonder if they think I'm talking about them, right? So then I have to be a bit, but if they even bother watching it. And the third thing is how's it affected business? And I have that's one thing where it really has helped, right? Because I was when I read that question, I was going to say, no, they're pretty much separate. The YouTube channel and the app development are pretty much separate, but that's not really the case, right? I have had client work come in because they found me on YouTube. They were searching for something. I've done thousands of videos. I don't know how many it is. It's well over 1,000. It might be close to 2,000, but I've done a lot, right? So lots of different topics, lots of different things. So people find me by various keyword searches and stuff like that, and they might watch, they might subscribe, they might leave a bad comment, they might think I hate this guy, whatever, but there's stuff out there. And so a lot of times I've worked with clients, they already decided they want to work with me before they even met me, because they've already feel like they knew me, because they knew that I know what I'm talking about, and I just have this experience, right? Also with, just getting jobs, right? This is what I want to say to everybody out there. And I've said this before, and it's kind of one of those things you hear, and then you think, yeah, I probably should, but whatever. I think everybody should, in the software industry, should be putting out content of some kind. It could be blog posts if you're not good at doing videos. It could be, whatever, podcast or whatever, whatever. But for me, YouTube works really, really well. Right, you learn something new. You know stuff now. Depending on how long you've been doing it, in software, stuff now that you didn't know a year ago. And there are people who are where you were a year ago that could benefit from that content. And you might think, well, there's already loads of tutorials out there about this. I want you to think about it in a different way, right? There's something about creating content, about putting down your opinions and your thoughts and whatever your skills on something, which helps it solidify in your own mind, right? You start to think, yeah, I know that. If people say, hey, Eric, what do you think about, I don't know, What do you think about Flutter? What do you think about React Native? What do you think? I have opinions about all those kind of things, so I think about them. I've done videos on them, right? My opinions might change, but I know the industry really, really well. I pay attention to it. We talk about it here. You guys tell me stuff, I tell you that kind of stuff. And the reason I say that everybody should put out content, and it's not so that you can get millions of views. I mean, this channel's been at 36,000 subscribers for like a long time. It might stay at 36,000 subscribers, but that's not the reason I do it, right? It would be, I mean, honestly, I would love that silver YouTube button just to hang on the wall for my ego and everything like that, but that's not the reason I do it, right? Okay, let's say you're looking for a new client, you're looking for a new job, you need to do whatever, right? When you put your CV in front of somebody, a lot of the times they're going to Google you, right? And I've done this. Like when I'm thinking about hiring somebody, I look at the CV. The CV is the first thing I look at, and if I'm a bit more interested, let's do a quick Google. And most of the time, with most software developers, I'll find a LinkedIn profile maybe, and it's really, really sparse, like no effort been put into it. If there's a picture, it's a picture like a mugshot picture. And there might be a website with a coming soon page on it, but nothing else, right? If you were to Google my name, like let's say for some reason, you were hiring me, right? And you were to Google my name, you would find loads of content. You find loads of videos. You find loads of stuff because I put the work in. Like I just sort of like, I made it a habit, right? I'm going to start doing some stuff. And it's not something that came easy, right? And also I'll have clients that ask me questions again and again, and a lot of times I could just go, oh, let me send you this video I did a couple years ago, and I could just say, okay, this is, we need to annotate the screenshots or whatever, like that would be better. And I go, what does that mean? I go, let me send you the screenshots of this video I did about, creating annotated screenshots as opposed to just normal screenshots on your apps and stuff like that. That kind of stuff comes up all the time. So, and here's the thing, when I do talk about this kind of stuff, like, just picking up the camera and filming stuff, there's a lot of people who say, yes, I should. And I've had conversations with people who said, you know what, you've convinced me, Eric, like even in person, like not necessarily through this, Eric, you've convinced me, I'm going to do it. And then months go by, and then you ask, like I don't want to ask because I don't want to be rude, but after a while it's like, so have you done any videos yet? And it's always like oh yeah, no, I'm gonna get a new camera, or I'm gonna make a new intro, whatever, and I'm looking for an editor to edit the videos for me and all that, and all this kind of stuff. And really what it is, because I know I experienced it too, is that we all hate the way we look on camera. Oh my God, you want to see an awkward looking person? Turn your camera on and try to film something of yourself talking about a topic that you're into, right? And then you get more and more self-conscious. For me, it was like, there were so many videos that I recorded that never got published. And finally, when I did start to publish them, there was this kind of like screw it, this is just going to be good enough, right? And so there was like a lot of stuff. And I started doing videos each and every single day. And sometimes the videos really sucked. Some may argue that most of the time they sucked. But it was kind of like putting the reps in, getting used to doing that kind of stuff, right? And it's something that I'm always surprised at when you talk to other software developers about it. And you might disagree with it, because I've heard this before. Like, dude, I'm not into all that social media stuff. I'm not into all that, the YouTube stuff. There's always so much stuff out there, right? But if you were just to record your thoughts, just to record your opinions about the software you're working on, you learn something new, you demonstrate how to do it, right? It doesn't have to be a daily thing, or you're looking for the likes or the subscribers or whatever. It's you're putting out content like that, and like somebody searching for you, they'll find that content, and then you demonstrate that you know what you're talking about. More than that, you demonstrate that you're a player in the industry, right? But also, you just, it helps solidify it in your mind, right? Sometimes you go back and look at videos that you've done. Like I'm thinking, I've done that, and gone back and say, God, how did that work again? Like, and I know I did a video on it, and I have to go through and do a quick search through all that kind of stuff. Now, we've tried other stuff too. I've tried to do the Instagram stories. Like if you follow me on Instagram, or you follow Overpass on Instagram, we've got a lot of content going out there. But like the uptake on that has been, it's different. Instagram is different. Twitter is different. We've done the Twitter stuff for years. TikTok's the latest thing we're doing. Kind of how we do the shorts on YouTube. We're doing the TikTok thing on TikTok, and it's like, dude, it's like, you know, tumbleweeds blowing through that account. Like nobody's interested in watching me on TikTok, right? It's just, but you know, we try it. We put stuff out there, right? And it's not about the views. It's about, you know, there were times where I started putting out content and then more people started watching and I got stage fright. And then I started thinking, I'm just going to talk about what I think you guys want to talk about. And then it became not fun. It became, you know, I had no personality. I was just, you know, I was trying to do something like, you know, just boring, right? And the nice thing about video, and even through writing or audio, is that your enthusiasm for the topic gets to come out, right? When someone's hiring somebody or someone wants to work with somebody, it's not just how technical, how good their technical knowledge is. A lot of times it's like, is this somebody I could work with? Is this somebody that I like? And through video, you can demonstrate that. I mean, the reason you guys watch this channel, I hope, is because you are excited about the technology and what we get to do as software developers as I am. I mean, think about it. We can have any job and we get to, you know, make software. We get to do stuff that makes the world work better. We get to automate things. We get to like put stuff out there that actually helps people. I mean, I think that's awesome. We have a great profession, right? We could create something out of nothing through a blank IDE. We could code something that we could put out onto the market, or we could, you know, automate to run on a server somewhere, all that kind of stuff, right? If you're as excited about it as I am and nobody knows about it, then you need to put yourself out there. I'm rambling here big time, right? But, you know, and I've talked about this before. I'll continue to talk about it. And I know it's scary. It's scary as hell to like think, you know, if you've never done it before, to go on camera, it's scary. Like if I haven't done it for a couple weeks, I get scared again. I'm like, oh man, like, you know, whew, you know. So if you just force yourself, it's like, today, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to figure out how all this works. It is going to suck. Like, if you know it's going to suck, and it will, at least when you're first getting started, then yeah, you're fine with it. Just keep putting the reps in and get better at it. And then you get to the situation where, like, you know, after a while, you have this library of stuff that you've put out there and that you've created. And anybody who's looking to hire you are going to be able to find that. But ideally, anyone looking to solve the problem that you solved, they're going to find that too. And you're giving back to the community, this developer community that we're in. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough, right? You know, like I said, this is a small channel. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad I get to talk to you about this kind of stuff. And I encourage you, like, and I want you guys to experience what it feels like to go through that and get over those initial hurdles of recording something and just putting something out there. Because a lot of people really want to do it, but they're just, it's intimidating. And then there's supposed to be, you put something out there, it doesn't get any views. That doesn't mean you should stop. That should just mean that, you know, okay, well, just, you know, keep doing it, right? Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. You know, record something, hit record, do it, I'm telling you. That is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again next time.